morning guys, hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a nice weekend. I've had quite a nice weekend. It's very relaxing, which is great, and I'm looking forward to the week ahead. So the thing is with the dollar, you can see it's like in a steady decline. We are positive, do note, but we are slightly declining over time. Whereas the euro is, well, we pumped a great deal. If you remember, we broke below parity, and it was really bearish for a while. And then, we had that massive pump, and we had an increase from the week prior. So be careful if you're short the euro FX. Looking fairly strong. We're not only positive, but we had an increasement from the week prior. So we went from 129,000 to 134,000. So there's an increase of 5,000 contracts for the net non-coms. Remember, if you're a QuasiDB subscriber, you can use this document and then you can just filter out what you want. So perhaps maybe you're trading, maybe you're looking at the euro, I don't know, let's say, and then maybe the Swiss franc. And then, you can have an idea, you can get an idea to buy or sell based on the crossovers. And then likewise, you can just do any permutation. We can do pound Aussie. We're going to have looks like we're going to have a crossover here where we're going to have a pound Aussie sell, because there's the pound movement and there's the Aussie movement. And if that happens, that's going to be a risk on indication. And you can see indices, we're pumping on indices. So this crosses next week, that could be a good setup. So this is how you use it, okay? And you're all welcome to use it. All the QuasiDB guys should use it because it's really amazing. So let's put euro on. We'll put the dollar back on, and we'll put the yen. We'll just compare the dollar and the yen. So how are we looking? Increase -46 to -35. If we go above zero, it's going to be very interesting, and then we're going to potentially get a UJ short. Okay, so if you think it's fallen already, we can fall more, because if these two cross, then that particular currency pair can fall based on this crossover technique. And remember, this is the banks and institutions, so that's interesting. So maybe UJ is going to be a sell 3-4 weeks potentially. Okay, so we know that the pound was fairly weak, but we'll look at it in contrast to the dollar and the yen. So we'll look at the pound. And so likewise, pound yen shorts coming up. So that will probably be next week. Not now because we haven't had the crossover, but next week could be a likelihood. Okay, and Aussie, they're both going up. So that's going to be mixed. That will be mixed. So be careful there. Remember, this is quite a strong risk on indication. The Australian dollar coming up, okay, so that's and also we've got all those macroeconomic factors to do with the China reopening. So the big fish, these guys will be wanting to buy the Australian dollar because of the fundamentals. Okay, so remember that. Be careful if you're short the Aussie. I did try and short it last week, and it was quite painful. But it's all about knowing where your exit is. And if you don't know where your exit is, then you're going to encounter significant losses. So you've got to stipulate your stop loss and then just get out. And then you can always reverse if you wanted to. I just got out of the Australian dollar USD prior to the CPI because I knew it was going to be a roller coaster. CAD. So we've got a CAD yen crossover coming up next week. So this is going to be very interesting. If we do get a crossover, I'm going to be trading those particular pairs. Not this week, but next. Okay. And look at gold. Yeah, well, we see the price of gold, don't we? And we knew we had a break of that trend. We created higher lows, and we got a higher high there as well. It's quite steady, and we never did break below zero. I'll be surprised if we did, to be honest with you, because obviously this has got it's got value. In case of a massive crunch in credit or recession, people will be wanting to buy gold, and it's a fairly decent flight to safety, and it can be used quite well in a real world environment. So I'd be surprised to see this go below zero. So we're quite strong on gold, okay? And the retail guys are very short on gold as well, and the profitable traders at FX as a SI, they're long on gold. And you would have seen that on the profit ratio indicator. So that's it, I guess. We did the Kiwi, and potentially we're going to get an NU buy, but they'd have to cross. And they're both a bit sideways, aren't they? And there's no NJ crossover. And then we'll look at Swiss. Oops, not round, Swiss. Sideways. We're just consolidating sideways. So remember, you can to use this at your leisure and just use it whenever you want. And it's really quite simple. The strategies, should be quite straightforward. You're looking at crossovers, and that's it. So Christian was saying about keeping an eye on the hedge funds because we hit a 3-year low on their dollar exposure. So that kind of it can indicate a reversal in the USD. So we have to be careful this week. So trade carefully, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. And I'll try and do the bulletin early, but I can't guarantee it. I'll do it as soon as I wake up. But I've been struggling to wake up a little bit last week. So we'll see how we go. I'll try and get it over to you by 10 a.m. UK time, even though that's a bit late. But I'll try my best. I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a good day.